So we get underway, round one. Three-minute rounds of World Championship Boxing. Yasnier LOPEZ of Cuba in red, URANCHIMEG of Mongolia in blue.
Well, URANCHIMEG, a real class act. Ranked number 2. Bronze medal winner at London 2012. His opponent from Cuba, though, again, another class act. And you'll see, just look at the hand speed there. An absolutely blurring combination. Left, right, left. This is going to be a semi-final of epic proportions. It really is. They're two very skillful boxers. Of course, the Cuban, southpaw. Ironically, so is URANCHIMEG. So the battle of the unorthodox, but the skill sets between the two, well, legion.
In some ways, LOPEZ, surprising he wasn't given a seed coming into this contest. He is an Olympic Games bronze medalist after all. And in many ways, it shows you just how heavily loaded this World Championship is. 55 boxers took part in the men's light welter. Down to the final 4 now. And whoever wins this will go on and meet Akselov of Kazakhstan in that final.
Well, it's interesting to see the pace of this fight. It's settled down. Both of these boxers looking at physical and mental chess. LOPEZ, that relaxed guard, managing to land the shots though. Beautiful uppercut going into the midsection. Good left there, and he's starting to connect with URANCHIMEG. Very fast hand speed, very fast attacking forward pace. And again, right-left combination, and URANCHIMEG taking the shots. Again, a left hook finds its way in, and the Cuban scoring fast and hard here. So relaxed, but so accurate. Throws the left first, the Cuban. That's the confidence. Tries to turn his man. URANCHIMEG senses it.
Well, that's it, end of round 1, and the Cuban at the end there had his hands right down, trying to bring the punches up from his waist. He's a tricky customer. It'll be interesting to see exactly how they call this, Will.
Well, from absolutely nowhere, we see the hand speed of LOPEZ. He's able to stand off without a guard and bring up his opposite hand first to come in, throwing the left and catching URANCHIMEG. A real display of skill and talent. It's only the first round. The second one will be...
Second one's going to be very interesting indeed. 10-9 across the board to the Cuban, LOPEZ. And I think that's a pretty fair reflection of what we've just seen. URANCHIMEG, I think, just trying to find his way through and figure out some tactics for the Cuban, who can just throw a punch from anywhere at the moment. So we're into round 2 now. In the red corner, it's Yasnier LOPEZ of Cuba, amazingly unseeded. And against the Mongolian, the number 2 ranked athlete in this World Championship tournament, Munkh-Erdene, who right now is 1 round down.
Well, the confidence being exuded from the Cuban fighter, almost tangible. Great lateral movement, on his toes, the footwork excellent, just moving to his right, which of course makes life difficult for another southpaw. URANCHIMEG having to come in to do all the work. LOPEZ just spoiling him on the way in and punishing him when he can. And that left hand, incredible blurring speed.
Again, he just keeps that right hand down, flicks it up. URANCHIMEG looking eye to eye, almost if he drops his eye line, he'll be looking down at those fists, and then he'll come in from a different angle. It's very difficult for the Mongolian to deal with this Cuban. Oh, a brilliant right hand uppercut.
Great straight right. The Cuban really causing problems from URANCHIMEG. Left hook, just to keep him worried. And again, we're seeing a demonstrable cut above the average. The skill set at this level, you'd expect to be high. URANCHIMEG, notwithstanding a relentless work rate, but up against the Cuban, it almost looks perfunctory. And he saunters off to his left, as if to say, come and get me, but I'll give you something to take away with you if you do. Starting to try and put a bit more heat on those punches, the Cuban, trying to land a bit more power, which is making him slower.
And we have just over 30 seconds of this second round to go. And the crowd are getting behind the Mongolian. Again, the Cuban just keeping his hands very low.
Great little right hand comes up there, catches the Mongolian.
Oh, just slipping the punches there. Great head movement from the Cuban. And back to the corners they go. This was a 12-rounder. You wouldn't fancy the Cuban doing that all the way. Fatigue would no doubt kick in, and his head would get caught. But right now, keeping his hands down, it seems to work. It's dangerous tactics, but it works for him.
Well, up against a fighter like URANCHIMEG, ranked so highly, Olympic participant and medal winner. But just look at the confidence, and just look at him float around the peripheral of the ring. Great demonstration.
So here we are, the judges' scores, 10-9 across the board, 20-18 indeed from each and every judge after round two. And right now it is Yasnier LOPEZ of Cuba who is in the driving seat. He has 1 foot in that final, and URANCHIMEG, the Mongolian in blue, is going to have to go into overdrive here to try and turn this around.
Well, the work rests with the Mongolian. The Cuban knows it. And the Cuban, one of those fighters that part of his mindset will be, after troubling you and worrying you, may start to play with you in the third round. And he moves beautifully. Look at that right hand, just shoots out on his toes. Starting to dance now. And in the exchange, getting off the shots.
Well, you know what, the URANCHIMEG, he's quite square on, and I think the Cuban has noticed this. Is why he's dropping his hands. He's got quite a wide guard, and he's getting up through each time from a distance now. The Cuban wants to get out of there, get his distance again.
The crowd shouting, Erdene, Erdene. But the Cuban firmly behind the wheel here. Good exchange there, and a word from the referee about the inside of the glove. Unintentional. Again, the Cuban does it, though. Big left hand.
Just over a minute to go here. the final round, and URANCHIMEG just isn't doing enough to pull this back at the moment.
Yep, the work rate has slipped right off the scale here, and Cuban Lopez happy to dance, give an exhibition here. Again, we see a masterclass. Just look at the lateral movement, moves out of range, keeps slipping, making the Mongolian miss by a mile. It's a great demonstration, and what a show of high quality, top-rate athleticism in boxing.
A little bit of a cheeky punch there after the referee said stop boxing. And he just wants to have, he's calling up the doctor. I wonder if there's a cut there that we didn't see.
Yeah, on the left-hand side of Lopez, a cut has opened just between the cheek and the eye. That was from a previous exchange. I don't think at this stage it will make a difference, but it's certainly going to make a difference to a fighter going through to a final.
That's right, yeah, just 28 seconds left of this bout. Last thing the Cuban wants is a cut right now with 24 hours to go before that final. So we get underway again, 25 seconds to go. What can URANCHIMEG throw at him? He needs to throw the kitchen sink, everything here to try and win this round 10-8 or more, maybe a knockdown.
Well, the strategy of Munkh-Erdene URANCHIMEG will be to try and trouble that eye of Lopez, but with the clock ticking away, it looks hardly likely.
Again, the Cuban slips away. He looks like he's good for another 10 rounds, in tremendous shape. And I sincerely hope that eye will not trouble him when he goes through to the final. Well, we have to wait to see the referee's decision, but after 2 rounds up, I think you'd expect the Cuban to, even if they considered he lost this round, he will still go through on a split decision. Will?
Well, the Mongolian tried to put a bit more power into these shots to see if he could cause an upset, maybe take the round, and that caused the problem on the eye of the Cuban, but he was just a will-o'-the-wisp. He was here 1 minute, gone the next.
Our decision then, through to the final, as we expected. Yasnier Lopez of Cuba, 10-9 across the board. It's a whitewash, 30-27 from all of the judges.